The myth of Atlantis finds its origins in the writings of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who first introduced the enigmatic civilization in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. Plato, born in Athens in the 5th century BCE, is revered as one of the most influential thinkers in Western philosophy. In his dialogues, Plato recounts the story of Atlantis as told by the Athenian statesman Critias, who in turn heard it from his grandfather, also named Critias. According to Plato's account, Atlantis was a mighty and technologically advanced civilization that existed approximately 9,000 years before his time. Situated beyond the Pillars of Hercules, commonly identified as the Strait of Gibraltar, Atlantis was said to be a naval power that sought to conquer other territories. However, its arrogance and hubris ultimately led to its downfall, as the gods punished Atlantis with a cataclysmic event that caused the entire island to sink into the depths of the ocean. Despite being a literary creation of Plato, the myth of Atlantis has permeated popular culture and captivated the imagination of people across centuries. From ancient times to the modern era, Atlantis has been romanticized, speculated upon, and incorporated into various forms of art, literature, and entertainment. In the Renaissance period, the rediscovery of Plato's works sparked renewed interest in the classical world and its myths, including Atlantis. Scholars and thinkers of the time pondered the possibility of Atlantis being a real, lost civilization, leading to numerous exploratory voyages and expeditions in search of its remains. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Atlantis became a prominent motif in literature and speculative fiction. Writers such as Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, and Edgar Allan Poe incorporated elements of the Atlantis myth into their stories, imagining fantastical worlds and civilizations hidden beneath the waves. These literary works contributed to the popularization of Atlantis as a symbol of lost knowledge, adventure, and discovery. Moreover, Atlantis has left its mark on various forms of visual media, including films, television shows, and video games. From Disney's animated feature, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, to James Cameron's blockbuster film, Avatar, the allure of Atlantis continues to inspire filmmakers and storytellers to explore themes of exploration, adventure, and the unknown. Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, are foundational texts in Western philosophy and literature. Composed in the 4th century BCE, these dialogues provide insights into Plato's metaphysical and political theories. In Timaeus, Plato explores the nature of the universe, discussing the creation of the cosmos and the role of the demiurge. Within this dialogue, the character Timaeus presents a cosmological account that lays the groundwork for the discussion of Atlantis in Critias. In Critias, Plato introduces the character Critias, who recounts the story of Atlantis as told to him by his ancestor, also named Critias. The dialogue serves as a vehicle for Plato to expound upon his political philosophy and ideals of the ideal state. Through the narrative of Atlantis, Plato delves into themes of hubris, virtue, and the rise and fall of civilizations. In Critias, Plato presents Atlantis as a powerful and advanced civilization that existed around 9,000 years before his time. According to the narrative, Atlantis was a maritime empire located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, commonly identified as the Strait of Gibraltar. The island of Atlantis was said to be rich in resources and possessed a sophisticated system of governance and infrastructure. It was described as a utopian society governed by divine laws and principles. The city of Atlantis itself was said to be a marvel of engineering and architecture, with concentric rings of land and water, adorned with temples, palaces, and harbors. The Atlanteans were depicted as a noble and virtuous people who eventually succumbed to corruption and decadence, leading to their catastrophic downfall. Plato's account of Atlantis has been the subject of considerable debate and interpretation among scholars and historians. One of the primary criticisms of Plato's narrative is its allegorical nature. Some scholars argue that Atlantis serves as a metaphor for the ideal state and the consequences of political corruption and moral decay. From this perspective, The story of Atlantis represents Plato's critique of contemporary Athenian society and his vision of the philosopher king. Others, however, take Plato's account more literally, viewing Atlantis as a lost civilization that once existed in the ancient world. Critics of this interpretation point to the lack of archaeological evidence supporting the existence of Atlantis and highlight inconsistencies and embellishments in Plato's narrative. Despite these criticisms, Plato's account of Atlantis continues to fascinate and intrigue scholars and enthusiasts alike. The enduring mystery of Atlantis serves as a testament to the enduring power of myth and the human quest for knowledge and understanding. Historical interpretations of Atlantis seek to identify real-world events or civilizations that may have inspired Plato's narrative. Scholars have proposed various historical contexts for Atlantis, ranging from the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete to the ancient city of Troy. Some theories suggest that Plato may have drawn upon historical accounts of maritime powers and lost civilizations in the ancient Mediterranean region to create his story of Atlantis. However, attempts to establish a direct historical connection between Plato's Atlantis and specific ancient civilizations have been met with challenges due to the allegorical nature of Plato's narrative and the lack of concrete evidence. Geological and archaeological evidence has been pivotal in shaping theories about Atlantis. Some researchers have focused on geological phenomena, such as the eruption of the Thera volcano around 1600 BCE, as a potential inspiration for Plato's descriptions of catastrophic events that led to the downfall of Atlantis. The discovery of ancient underwater structures, such as submerged ruins and geological formations, has also fueled speculation about the possible existence and location of Atlantis. However, the interpretation of such evidence remains contentious, and no definitive archaeological or geological evidence supporting the existence of Atlantis has been uncovered to date. The search for the location of Atlantis has led researchers to explore a wide range of potential sites around the world. Proposed locations for Atlantis include the Mediterranean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean, and even Antarctica. Some theories place Atlantis in regions known for seismic activity or volcanic eruptions, while others focus on coastal areas that may have been submerged over time due to rising sea levels. The diversity of theories reflects the complexity of the Atlantis legend and the challenges of identifying a single, definitive location for a civilization that may have existed only in myth. The legend of Atlantis shares similarities with various mythological and religious traditions from around the world. Stories of lost civilizations, cataclysmic floods, and divine punishment are common motifs found in diverse cultural narratives. Some researchers have suggested that the Atlantis legend may have been influenced by pre-existing myths and religious beliefs, reflecting universal themes of human history, cosmology, and morality. The parallels between the Atlantis legend and other mythological traditions highlight the enduring significance of the story as a cultural archetype and a source of inspiration for storytelling, symbolism, and philosophical inquiry. The debate over whether Atlantis represents a literal lost civilization or an allegorical construct remains a central point of contention among scholars and enthusiasts. Literal interpretations view Atlantis as a historical reality, a once thriving civilization that met its demise in a cataclysmic event. Proponents of this view often point to Plato's detailed descriptions of Atlantis and argue that the absence of concrete evidence does not negate its existence. On the other hand, allegorical interpretations regard Atlantis as a philosophical or moral allegory. According to this perspective, Plato used the story of Atlantis to convey deeper truths about human nature, society, and governance. Allegorical interpretations emphasize the symbolic significance of Atlantis, suggesting that its lessons and allegories are more important than its historical accuracy. Regardless of its historical veracity, Atlantis continues to serve as a rich source of lessons and allegories for contemporary society. The story of Atlantis explores themes of hubris, virtue, and the rise and fall of civilizations. It prompts reflection on the consequences of unchecked power, moral decay, and societal collapse. From an allegorical perspective, Atlantis embodies the ideal society, a utopian civilization governed by divine laws and principles. Its downfall serves as a cautionary tale, warning against the dangers of pride, greed, and corruption. The lessons of Atlantis invite introspection and encourage individuals and societies to strive for moral and ethical excellence. Scientific skepticism plays a crucial role in evaluating claims about the existence and nature of Atlantis. While the legend of Atlantis has captured the imagination of many, scientific inquiry demands empirical evidence and rigorous methodology. Skeptics argue that the lack of archaeological and historical evidence supporting the existence of Atlantis undermines its credibility as a literal lost civilization. Moreover, scientific explanations offer alternative hypotheses for the origins of the Atlantis legend. Some researchers propose that Plato may have been inspired by real-world events or civilizations, while others suggest that Atlantis may have been a product of mythological imagination. Skeptical inquiry encourages critical thinking and encourages researchers to question assumptions, examine evidence, and consider multiple perspectives in the quest for truth. The search for Atlantis has a long history dating back to antiquity. Over the centuries, numerous expeditions and explorations have been conducted in pursuit of the legendary lost civilization. Ancient Greek philosophers, historians, and adventurers sought clues to Atlantis's whereabouts, often interpreting Plato's writings as historical accounts rather than allegorical tales. During the Renaissance period, explorers like Christopher Columbus and Sir Francis Bacon speculated about the existence of Atlantis and its potential influence on the New World. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, scholars and archaeologists attempted to identify Atlantis with various ancient civilizations, such as the Minoans, the Egyptians, and the Phoenicians. While historical expeditions yielded fascinating discoveries and insights into ancient cultures, they ultimately failed to provide conclusive evidence of Atlantis. Despite the efforts of intrepid explorers and scholars, the search for Atlantis remained elusive, fueling speculation and debate for centuries. Advancements in modern technology have revolutionized the search for Atlantis in recent decades. Satellite imaging, sonar technology, and geographic information systems (GIS) have enabled researchers to explore remote and inaccessible regions with unprecedented precision. These modern tools allow scientists to analyze vast amounts of data, identify potential sites of interest, and generate detailed maps of underwater landscapes. In addition to satellite imagery, modern expeditions often utilize cutting-edge equipment such as deep-sea submersibles, remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, and side-scan sonar systems. These technological approaches enable researchers to conduct detailed surveys of the seafloor, map underwater terrain, and document submerged structures and artifacts. Underwater archaeology and remote sensing techniques have played a crucial role in the search for Atlantis. By combining traditional excavation methods with advanced imaging technologies, archaeologists can explore submerged sites and uncover evidence of ancient civilizations. Underwater archaeologists use tools such as magnetometers, sub-bottom profilers, and multi-beam sonar to survey underwater environments and locate potential archaeological remains. Remote sensing techniques, including photogrammetry and lidar, light detection and ranging, allow researchers to create high-resolution 3D maps of underwater landscapes and reconstruct submerged structures. In recent years, underwater archaeologists have made significant discoveries in regions believed to be potential locations of Atlantis. Submerged ruins, megalithic structures, and ancient artifacts have been found in the Mediterranean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean, and other areas of interest. While these discoveries have shed light on ancient maritime cultures and civilizations, the search for Atlantis continues to be a subject of ongoing research and speculation. One of the most prominent candidates for Atlantis is the island of Santorini, located in the Aegean Sea. The eruption of the Thera volcano around 1600 BCE devastated the Minoan civilization on nearby Crete, leading some researchers to speculate that Plato's description of Atlantis may have been inspired by this cataclysmic event. The Minoan civilization, known for its advanced architecture, maritime trade, and cultural achievements, bears striking similarities to Plato's description of Atlantis. Some scholars believe that Santorini and the Minoan civilization provide compelling evidence for the historical basis of Atlantis. The Rechat structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, is a distinctive geological formation located in Mauritania, West Africa. Its concentric rings of rock and sediment have led some researchers to propose it as a potential candidate for Atlantis. While the Rechat structure does not match Plato's description of Atlantis in terms of location, it has sparked speculation due to its resemblance to the concentric rings described in Plato's narrative. However, the geological origin and formation of the Rechat structure are not consistent with the cataclysmic destruction described in Plato's account, casting doubt on its candidacy as the lost civilization of Atlantis. Other theories place Atlantis in regions such as the Caribbean and the Mediterranean. Proponents of Caribbean theories suggest that Atlantis may have been located in the region of the Bahamas or Cuba, where underwater features and geological formations have been cited as evidence of a submerged civilization. Mediterranean theories propose locations in the waters off the coast of Greece, Spain, or North Africa, where ancient maritime civilizations thrived. These theories often draw upon historical and archaeological evidence to support their claims, but definitive proof of Atlantis remains elusive. Some theories of Atlantis extend beyond specific locations to encompass broader concepts of lost continents and submerged lands. The idea of a lost continent, such as Atlantis or Lemuria, captured the imagination of 19th-century scholars and explorers seeking to uncover ancient mysteries and forgotten civilizations. While the concept of lost continents remains speculative, it reflects humanity's fascination with the unknown and the quest for hidden truths beneath the waves. The legend of Atlantis has inspired a rich tapestry of literature and mythology spanning centuries. From ancient Greek texts to modern novels, Atlantis has been depicted as a mythical utopia, a lost paradise, and a symbol of human ambition and folly. Writers and poets have drawn upon the Atlantis legend to explore themes of power, civilization, and the mysteries of the deep. Atlantis has been a recurring motif in film and television, captivating audiences with its allure of adventure and discovery. From classic adaptations of Plato's dialogues to contemporary blockbusters, Atlantis has been portrayed in various cinematic interpretations. Films such as Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and television series like Stargate Atlantis have reimagined Atlantis as a fantastical realm inhabited by advanced civilizations and ancient mysteries. The legend of Atlantis has left an indelible mark on the genres of science fiction and fantasy. Authors and creators have drawn upon Atlantis as a source of inspiration for world building, character development, and narrative themes. Science fiction novels, such as Arthur C. Clarke's The City and the Stars, and fantasy epics, like J.R.R. Tolkien's The Silmarillion, incorporate elements of Atlantis mythology into their fictional universes, enriching the tapestry of speculative fiction with echoes of a lost civilization. The legend of Atlantis has been surrounded by a plethora of pseudoscientific claims and hoaxes throughout history. From purported sightings of underwater ruins to dubious archaeological discoveries, pseudoscientific theories often lack empirical evidence and are driven by sensationalism and speculation. Pseudoscientific claims about Atlantis can mislead the public and distort our understanding of history and archaeology. Debunking such myths requires critical scrutiny and adherence to scientific principles. In addition to pseudoscientific claims, Atlantis has been the subject of New Age and esoteric interpretations that blend mythology, spirituality, and alternative belief systems. These interpretations often imbue Atlantis with mystical and supernatural qualities, portraying it as a lost civilization of advanced beings or a spiritual utopia beyond the realms of ordinary reality. While such interpretations may hold cultural and symbolic significance for some, they often lack empirical evidence and rely on subjective interpretations of ancient texts and myths. The debunking of myths and pseudoscience surrounding Atlantis requires a commitment to scientific methodology and critical thinking. By applying rigorous standards of evidence and skepticism, researchers can separate fact from fiction and uncover the truth behind sensational claims. Scientific inquiry relies on empirical observation, testable hypotheses, and peer-reviewed research to establish credible explanations and interpretations. By promoting scientific literacy and critical thinking skills, we can foster a deeper understanding of the complexities of history, archaeology, and human civilization. As we look to the future, the quest for Atlantis remains an ongoing endeavor, fueled by curiosity, innovation, and interdisciplinary collaboration. Advances in technology, such as remote sensing and underwater archaeology, hold the promise of new discoveries and insights into the mysteries of the past. By embracing rigorous scientific methodology and critical inquiry, researchers can navigate the complexities of Atlantis research with clarity and rigor. Future directions in Atlantis research may involve interdisciplinary approaches that integrate archaeological, geological, and historical perspectives to unravel the enigma of Atlantis and shed light on the mysteries of human civilization. In conclusion, the legend of Atlantis continues to captivate and inspire us, inviting us to explore the depths of human imagination and the mysteries of the past. By critically examining myths and pseudoscience, embracing the lessons of the legend, and charting new paths of inquiry, we can unravel the enigma of Atlantis and deepen our understanding of the rich tapestry of human history and culture.